What is going on, YouTube people? Neo Cards and Comics here. It is a big release day here in Hobbyville. We have Prizm Basketball finally coming out now that the season has ended, along with a baseball product on the top side with Topps Dynasty. Now, that might not be the hottest product. I particularly have a soft spot for Dynasty, but I thought it was kind of an interesting comparison between the two products that we'll kind of chit chat about. Let's lead off with Prizm Basketball first. When Prizm Football released for 2022, we kind of took it out back and played Pinata with it and slapped it around a little bit. Those boxes seem to be sitting steady at around $650 or so. Prizm Basketball on the pre-sale side of things are sitting at around $780 at time of recording. I don't have Panini's price yet. It won't come up until tomorrow when they go live. I would expect it to be in line with the David Adams price, give or take maybe 10 or 20 bucks one way or the other. So we're looking at, let's just call it $750 to $790 for a box. Maybe your LCS, you could get a little bit better deal on one, maybe find one for $700 if you're lucky, whatever the case might be. So the 2022 class is intriguing. Chet, one of the main players, has been hurt all year, so we really have no information on him. Paolo Banchero, been excellent. Probably going to win Rookie of the Year. Kind of slowed down a little bit the back half of the season, but really, really good. Jalen Williams, Walker Kessler, both also really, really good. After that, it kind of drops off into guys that are still potentially could have awesome NBA careers, maybe even could turn into NBA stars, but just not right out of the gates. They have it. You know, you got Keegan Murray, Tari Eason, Benedict Mathern, Jaden Ivey, and a handful of other players. Shaden Sharp's a little bit intriguing. A lot of guys out there that could potentially turn into something. Now, anyone that knows me knows I like to ride and die for the 2021 class. That's got my boy Evan Mobley in it, along with Cade Cunningham, Jalen Green, Scotty Barnes to a lesser extent, and a handful of other really good players. But Mobley and Cade, to me, kind of lead that class. So with that being said, how does the box price at between, let's just call it $775? For around $775 for a hobby box of Prizm at time of recording stack up to the more recent years of releases? Well, I pulled it up here, and our good friend Market Movers, link in the description down below. They have sealed wax too. We have 2018 of the more recent years leading the way at $4,000 a box. I will be interested to see if over time those come down a little bit with the shine coming off 2018 by the day. First we lost Luka. I shouldn't say lose Luka, but the hobby is losing a little bit of faith in Luka, I guess might be a more appropriate way to phrase that. Trae Young, obviously they lost faith in him last year. SGA, though, I guess is rising on the opposite side of that. So one goes down and others come up to take his place. Below that, we have 2017 Prizm Hobby sitting at 1.3K, right in line with 2019. That's kind of a little bit interesting given that the print runs on 2019 are way higher than 2017, and 2017 has two established legitimate stars in Jason Tatum and Donovan Mitchell, whereas 2019 has someone that can't get on the court and someone that likes to play with guns on Instagram. Not a great look out of the 2019 class so far, the much ballyhooed 2019 class. Then we have the 2020 class led by Anthony Edwards. Now he's surpassed LaMelo Ball. You have Tyrese Halliburton in there and a few other little project guys. And that box is sitting around 1.1K. And then below that, we have 2021, which we just kind of discussed. That one's still going through the product life cycle. You could see the interesting numbers there in terms of sales count of boxes. This is over the last 60 days. Still a lot of 2021 moving through the system, but those are sitting at around $925 a box. So 2022 would slot in underneath this, which makes some sense. I could see that logic. Like I said, I think the 2021 class is better than the 2022 class, and it's also been on the market for over or almost a year now, working its way through the process of inventory shortening and more boxes getting ripped and all that. And with 2022, you're starting that off brand new today. So we'll have to see how it ends up playing out. But out of the gate, it slots in the lowest of all those years. And to me, that at least checks out. 2022 football kind of did the same thing. Now, is a Prizm Hobby Box worth $750? I'm going to go out on a limb and say probably not. We'll have to see what Paolo stuff sells for and what Walker Kessler and Jalen Williams. Those are going to be the three hot names. Probably with Mathern after that, maybe a little bit of Jalen Ivey, maybe a little bit of Keegan Murray, especially if he does anything in the playoffs. He could get a little bit juiced, but Banchero is going to be the big hit out of all of them. And I'll be interested to see what his Silver Prizm comes out of the gates like. Maybe if you all want me to in the comments down below, please let me know. I did that like reviewing a box or multi-box break of Prizm football. And kind of I watched the Leighton break and kind of broke down the hits from each box. I could do the same with basketball. Maybe I'll do that for a video later this week if that's something you boys and girls would like to see. But at $800 a box, I have a feeling you are probably going to get smoked 9 times out of 10. I'll be interested to kind of see. Like I said, maybe I'll do one of those later this week. Give it a couple days for some things to sell on eBay right away so we can at least get this super inflated comps and see if we could still make our money back on a break of this stuff. But just, we've talked about this before. Panini hobby box prices seem out of whack compared to baseball prices of, you know, similar style products. We'll see what Topps Chrome Baseball comes out at price point wise for 2023 Series 1, but I don't think it'll be anywhere close to $800 a box. I mean, you could get a jumbo box of Series 1 paper, apples and oranges product, I get it. But even at inflated secondary market prices, you could pick up one of those for $240 a box. You know, baseball to basketball, I get it. But the Prizm stuff just always seems so out of whack lately with the pricing. Topps and Fanatics baseball product, is it inflated? Yeah, it just feels more reasonable than $800 a box. But let's, you know, to be fair, let's look at the other side of this. And this is the other product that I wanted to talk about. So we'll kind of transition over to baseball land here. Listen, I love myself some Topps Dynasty. They are one of my favorite cards to collect. I love picking up old 90s stars in them. Clemens, Frank Thomas. I would love a Griffey at some point in time one day. I love picking up Indians in them. I have a couple Jose Ramirez patches. And this product is going to be super popular. It's all game used. The patches are beefy and nice and multicolored. You get nice, clean, bold autos most of the time. And this is 2022 product. So you are going to have a loaded rookie class with J-Rod and Witt and Pena and all those guys in it. That being said, this product is almost $900 a box. You get one card per box. That's it. One card per box. Now, if you hit a Trout, a Griffey, a Judge, I don't even think a Jeter, you'll cover your price of the box barely. Probably not even after eBay fees, unless you just hit a monster patch or like a 101 or something crazy like that. Now, if you hit one of the RPAs, you'll probably do pretty well on it as well. But I thought about gambling on one of these, and this is 100% the biggest scratch-off ticket that there is. These one-box product or one-card products is a pure lottery ticket. I looked at the checklist and said, you know what? I'm good. The problem is this is a very deep checklist, and you have a very good chance to pull a really good player that doesn't sell for very much. For example, I'll go back to one I just mentioned, Frank Thomas. I have a very nice Frank Thomas 3-color patch, really nice auto, really nice patch on the card. It sells for $200 if you're lucky, maybe $150 depending on the patch if you get a little bit of a weaker patch. It'll go for around $200 on a good day. So you just lost $700. I know Sports Card Nonsense talked about this on their most recent podcast if you listen to them. The only thing that they forgot to mention was any of the rookies. They mentioned all the vets that you could pull. They literally did not mention one rookie. Listen, if you hit a Julio Rodriguez RPA out of this product, it's going to go for a small fortune. I get that. But you 100% pure scratch-off ticket here. The thing that I will find interesting, and maybe I will do this breakdown just for shoots and ladders, ripping a box. I use box very loosely here because it's one card. What are you better off ripping? A box of 2022 Prizm Hobby or an air quotes box of 2022 Topps Dynasty? If I could find a case break, I think it would be kind of interesting to compare like 12 boxes of Prizm Basketball versus 12 boxes of Topps Dynasty and kind of see which one comes out better. I guess your floor is probably slightly higher with Dynasty because you're probably going to hit at least $100 to $150 card at minimum. I don't know that you're going to do that in Prizm. Now, obviously in Prizm, you're hitting more cards, so you can kind of nickel and dime your way to a higher floor. But that might be an interesting little experiment. We'll see what I could find in regards to breaks once stuff kind of releases later this week, and sit down and see if maybe I could do a little bit of a review between the two. But those are the two big products come out. If you're going after Dynasty, more power to you. It's out of my price range. I'll see if Fanatics puts it up tomorrow. Topps should be live on Topps' website tomorrow. If I see it, I will share any links to it once it goes live. It probably will sell out very quickly. Dynasty has a very passionate collector's base around it, and it does usually move, even though it is the gamble of all gambles. But if you had to choose one to rip, if I came to you, Hobby Santa Claus, come to you with one choice. You either get a box of Prizm Basketball or a box of 2022 Baseball Topps Dynasty. Which one are you choosing to open to, let's say, maximize your value? Maybe you're a basketball fan or a baseball fan over one or the other, but let's just say you want to go for the craziest pull you could possibly get. Which one of the two products are you going to lean towards? We'll see how Prizm Basketball comes out, but I have a feeling it's going to be a little bit rough. I do think it will be overall better than Prizm Football, though. The Prizm Football checklist is just razor thin. This one, at least, there are some names on there. I don't know that anyone is going to be like a long-term, oh my God, this guy's going to revolutionize the NBA type guy. I think there's some really good players in there, but superstar-wise, like A-plus guys like a Luka, a Giannis, an Embiid, a Joker, I'm not sure if I see. Paolo's really good, but I don't know that he's on that level. Maybe he gets there. Maybe he doesn't. Maybe one of these other guys do. Very good draft class, but I don't know if there is that A-level, A-plus, S-tier type of guy in this class. So, curious for your thoughts, as always, in the comments down below. We will catch you boys and girls on the next one. Peace.